dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. Friends and family are remembering the life and legacy of 77-year-old Claiborne County volunteer fireman Roger Estes. The fallen community service member died this week after being hit by a truck directing traffic. Jared Austin shows how people from across East Tennessee and East Kentucky are paying their respects to the fallen volunteer.
Bagpipes play loud outside Claiborne High as firefighters look on at one of their own.
If he was here right now, he'd actually be yelling at us. So he wasn't big on all the attention, I guess you could say.
Roger may not have liked this attention, but those here today say it's the right thing to do.
This community has always came together, and I don't think there's a better community than Claiborne County.
Roger was called back into service after serving 22 years in New Hampshire law enforcement and several years in the Navy. His friends say age wasn't a factor, though, even with all his experience.
Roger was a tough old man. He bounced around like he was 16 years old. Like that man never, he put a lot of us to shame.
Roger didn't just dedicate his life to serving the community, but also those closest to him, helping his grandson get involved with the contract wildfire service.
I remember first trip, it was a few weeks ago. I was going to Arizona. He picked me up early, bring me to the airport, and he was 10 times more excited than I was about it.
All of Claiborne County now making sure the loving grandfather, father, and volunteer fireman is never forgotten. In Claiborne County, Jared Austin, WVLT News.
Tennessee Highway Patrol is leading the investigation. They say the incident happened around 1 in the afternoon on Independence Day. No charges have been filed yet. One Southwest Virginia fire chief is in serious condition following a car crash. According to a post on the Appalachia Fire Department Facebook page, around 9:20 Saturday morning, Chief Robert Anderson Jr. was on his way home from a shift at the Bristol, Virginia Fire Department when the crash happened near his home. We're told he was taken to a local hospital before being transferred to another facility for further treatment. We do not know his current condition. State police, are looking for an inmate who walked away from a facility in Lexington. Police say David D. Lewis was an inmate of Blackburn Correctional Complex, but had been staying at the Hope Recovery residence in Lexington. Troopers say Lewis removed his ankle monitor and walked away from the facility. He's 5'5" and 145 pounds. He was last seen wearing blue jeans and a white sleeveless shirt, carrying a black trash bag of belongings. If you've seen him or have any information, you're asked to call the police.
Quiet night across most of the region, but some areas to our south seeing some action right now. Let's go to live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you can see most of the heavier bands of rain have moved out and across the Tennessee border. But as we look down there, we are seeing some heavy rain lingering across parts of the area and reports of closed roads in parts of Campbell County. So they are under a flash flood warning until 1:15. Claiborne County next door under a flash flood warning until 1:30. Some heavier bands of rain falling there and reports of road closings in La Follette there this evening there, and then near Tazewell as well. So we're going to continue to watch those roads out there tonight. Be careful if you're traveling in those areas, but the heaviest rain on the way out. The fog is moving in. 0 visibility near Moorhead down to 1 mile wise. 5 miles in Prestonsburg, 4 at Jackson, and 2.5 in Middlesboro. So again, heavy rain and the remnants of that causing some visibility issues. Temperatures still mild out there. 68 Moorhead, Irvin, 69 Jackson, Prestonsburg, London, 70 Manchester, Hazard, 73 Jonesville and Middlesboro, and 72 in Jacksboro. Still dew points are still high out there, so it's still soupy across the region. So that'll be the case pretty much off and on all night. 68 is the overnight low. I think we could see a few more scattered showers for it's all said and done, and the winds will be light and variable. Keaton?
Soupy, it's a good way to describe how it was today. Thanks, Brandon. There are more protests today around the country as the divide over federal abortion rights continues. It's been a little more than 2 weeks since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Michael George reports.
From Los Angeles to Chicago to Washington, D.C. Hundreds of abortion rights advocates marched Saturday, their anger targeted.
Supreme Court,
The D.C. march ended with a sit-in at the White House, where Friday President Biden issued an executive order that expands access to FDA-approved abortion medication, protects online privacy and access to contraception, provides legal help for patients and providers, and upholds the right to travel out of state to get an abortion. But the president stressed his power is limited and urged Americans to elect lawmakers who are pro-abortion rights.
We need 2 additional pro-choice senators and a pro-choice House to codify Roe as federal law.
But it's unclear if Democrats can keep control of the House. Virginia's GOP governor, Glenn Youngkin, rumored to be considering a 2024 presidential bid, was the headline speaker at Nebraska's Republican convention, streaming it over Twitter.
And taking a moment to thank our Lord for our Supreme Court.
He predicts a wave of Republicans will be elected into office this fall.
This is our moment. It's our moment because we have seen exactly what Joe Biden has been doing to our nation.
At least 10 states have enacted a near total ban on abortion. Nearly 24 more have taken steps to outlaw or severely restrict it. Louisiana's abortion ban went back into effect Friday following a legal challenge. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The U.S. House of Representatives is expected to take up a pair of abortion rights bills next week, but neither is likely to go anything into the Senate. A historic building in Wayne County, West Virginia went up in flames this morning. Firefighters say the call came in around 4:45 for a fire at the old Wayne News building, now a woodworking shop. AEP shut off power to the building and Mountaineer Gas closed off the natural gas pipeline. Crews say it was a dangerous fire to tackle because of the chemicals stored in the back building. Officials were able to protect homes nearby and prevent any damage. The Watts Woodworking building was a total loss. Lavalette Fire Department also came in to assist in the blaze.
It's heartbreaking in town. I mean, we're striving to have businesses in this town anyhow, and then when something like this happens, we lose one, that's vital to the community.
When the front of the building collapsed, it just barely missed 3 firefighters. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation. The Bell County Volunteer Fire Department hosted a community picnic today. Elected officials and local residents, including Kentucky State Police Commissioner Philip Burnett, joined in celebrating the hard work that first responders put in. Bell County Volunteer Fire Department President Tim H. Mills says they respond to all sorts of calls.
We ourselves answer hundreds of calls a year. Currently, we're at like call number 195 since January of this year. That's a lot of emergency calls.
Mills also thanked Bell County residents and fellow first responders for their continued support. A Louisville area boy's story will soon be seen across the country. At 8 years old, Landis Sims was already inspiring people. Filmmaker Eric Cochran took notice and decided to make a movie about his journey. Now at 16 years old, Sims, who is from southern Indiana, is spreading his message of perseverance. Sims will kick off his tour by throwing out the first pitch at Yankee Stadium on July 12th. That's the same day his movie comes out. Sims will now go around the country telling his story to other physically challenged athletes. Sims says he's looking forward to helping people out on his upcoming tour.
I really look forward to people, getting to see my story and hopefully inspiring people and, trying to show them that they can just go out and do what they love. There's going to be challenges along the way, but you just got to get through them.
Sims took a tour of Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory, where he was gifted a custom-made bat. Sims is going to auction off the bat to give back to the Challenged Athletes Foundation and help support other kids. Well, folks in Hazard can now enjoy a drink on Main Street. An entertainment district designation for downtown Hazard means alcoholic drinks are legal outside within a designated boundary on certain days. Every Saturday in July, people can enjoy a beverage on Main Street. No glass drinks are allowed, and the entertainment designation runs from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., so that's right now. A glitch allowed thousands of Doordash customers to make orders Thursday without verifying payment. Doordash customers flooded social media platforms, showing them making lavish orders they didn't have to pay for. Some ordered thousands of dollars of top-shelf tequila. Others received a lifetime supply of Plan B contraception. DoorDash is working on canceling fraudulent orders. Legal experts point out using a fraudulent or expired card with a merchant is a criminal offense in America, regardless of the glitch. Twitter said Friday it will sue Elon Musk to complete the $44 billion merger he has rejected and is confident it will prevail. The statements came as Tesla CEO sent a letter to Twitter's board Friday saying he was terminating the acquisition. On Friday, shares of Twitter fell 5% to $36.81, well below the $54.20 that Musk had offered to pay. In a letter to the Securities and Exchange Commission, Musk said Twitter didn't give him enough information to make, quote, an independent assessment of the prevalence of fake or spam accounts on Twitter's platform, end quote. Coming up at 11, wildfires in California are threatening a national icon, giant sequoia trees.
And after a cooler night with some fog possible, we should, emphasis on should, get a brief break from the heat to wrap up the weekend. It'll be back before you know it, though. I'll have the latest in just a few minutes.